Hello, seniors. This is Dr. Gallant with your malpractice public service announcement. We are going to spend a couple of minutes discussing why you will not commit malpractice and how the IB defines and categorizes malpractice. Why aren't you going to commit malpractice? I'll tell you why. You'd like to keep your IB diploma, attend university, and avoid public ridicule. If the IB finds that you have committed malpractice, you will not receive your IB diploma. Your university will be informed of your unethical behavior, and most likely, your university will rescind their invitation to attend. That's not to mention that malpractice is the kind of bad choice that can haunt people for the rest of their lives. But more on that later. Let's quickly review 5 types of malpractice as defined by the IB. Plagiarism is the representation of the work or ideas of another person as the candidate's own. Yes, I said work or ideas. But we won't have any problems with this, right, seniors? You have all diligently provided accurate in-text citation for all ideas, stats, and quotes you've borrowed. Collusion is another type of malpractice. This is when a candidate supports the malpractice of another candidate. For example, allowing one's work to be copied or submitted for assessment by someone else. Selling or, quote, lending your work is just as bad as buying or, quote, borrowing someone else's work. Another type of malpractice is the fabrication of data. This is the manufacturing of data for a table, survey, or other requirement. The IB views this as a candidate knowingly attempting to gain an unfair advantage in an assessment component. This category of malpractice also includes making up fake quotes and sources. Why do people do that? Double dipping, also known as duplication of work, is another type of malpractice. This is when a candidate presents the same work for different assessment components or diploma requirements. For example, you can't study A Streetcar Named Desire in Lang Lit and write your EE on the same play. Finally, there's behavioral malpractice. This is a catch-all category for any behavior that gains an unfair advantage for a candidate or that affects the results of other candidates. For example, taking unauthorized material into an exam room, misconduct during an exam, falsifying CAS records, and so on. Again, we're not going to have any of these problems because you need to make good choices, seniors. And remember, malpractice can cost you more than your diploma. Just ask this guy. This former IGN editor plagiarized in a video and thus lost his job. Perhaps more concerningly, he attempted to double down on his denials and challenged the internet to find other times he had plagiarized. And wow, did the internet respond. Or you could ask this former journalist and staff writer for Wired and The New Yorker. He was fired after investigations found that he'd plagiarized from others, republished old work without credit, and fabricated quotes. Not convinced? Katy Perry had to pay out $2.78 million for plagiarizing Flame's Joyful Noise in her song Dark Horse. Or how about this former Yahoo CEO who was fired after 4 months and sued because he fabricated data and misrepresented himself on his resume? I feel like you're convinced now, but I'd like to leave you with 2 more cautionary tales. This former German education minister and this former German defense minister both were forced to resign when it was discovered they had plagiarized, and they were stripped of their PhDs. So what I'm trying to say to you is, don't commit malpractice, double check your citations, and make good choices. This has been your Malpractice PSA with me, Dr. Gallant, the person who absolutely does not want to sit across from you in the IB office asking, why did you do that, man? Why? Make good choices, guys, please.